Drivers signal that it is time to leave the dummy grid and head out onto the circuit for their second heat race. So all 17 drivers safely off the dummy grid. Kimber and Hernandez, the front row. Kibble and Rahan, row 2. Springob and Cohen, row 3. Govertz and Scholl, row 4. Grinvis and Vian, row 5. Ganem and Scholl, row 6. Dagenbeck and Ferreira, row 7. Sutumno and Ang, row 8. All on his own on row number 9, Nicolas Bayer. So Mark Kimber, well, he had to deal with the attention of Joey Van Splunteren in heat number 1. Van Splunteren goes in the next race. So who will step up to the plate to challenge Mark Kimber in this one? Well, there'll be no shortage of volunteers, I know that, as we start our second rolling lap. Around the turn 3 and 4 area we go. We'll see Mark Kimber begin to slow the field down now into their 2 rows. Mark Kimber doesn't want to have a false start because he doesn't want to get potentially moved to the back and have all his hard work from qualifying undone. He is relying on the fact that Maurizio Hernandez is a driver that, okay, he's in the same awning as him, but he doesn't know Maurizio. Will Maurizio anticipate the start like everyone else is able to? And so Kimber moves into turn number 11, that bright yellow cart, number 214, Patrick Kibble, on the outside of row number 2. Gani Rahane in that white and red machine on the outside of row 2. Kimber has the field at his disposal through turn number 12. There's João Ferreira going through the screen. Lights are out, we're off and racing. It's a good start from the poleman Mark Kimber. Patrick Kibble slots into second place, and that pushes Maurizio Hernandez down to third. And a solid start there from fourth from, that might be Gani Rahane, or maybe even Jan-Philippe Springob. Get a number check next time by, but it is Kimber from Kibble. They go into turn number 5. Hernandez in third place. Go through turn number 8. The first time it is Springob in fourth place in cart number 241. So a good start for the German driver, the HTP karting entry. Then it's the red and white cart of Raheen Ghani. Ghani Raheen, I do apologise. Very impressive in winning his first race, but he's got his work cut out here. Kimber not showing any signs of slowing down. A couple of drivers running wide back at turn number 3, and that has allowed the first, I'd say, 7 drivers to get away. And it's the first 7. There's a big gap back to 8th place, which I believe could be Roman Grinvis. We'll have to check next time around. But there is the move for second place. Maurizio Hernandez passes Patrick Kibble, but Kibble at turn number 8 passes him straight back. So Hernandez dove in a little bit too deep into turn number 8, made the move briefly, but then couldn't get the cart slowed down and just kind of ran wide on the apex, at the exit of the corner, which allowed Kibble to retake the place. All this is helping Mark Kimber tremendously, because as you can see, he suddenly got himself a nice little advantage as Hernandez now trying to hold off. Oh, it's 3 wide. Trying to hold off Jan-Philippe Springorb, who is around the outside and managed to hang on. That is Raheen Ghani in cart number 242. Raheen rather, in that scrap as well. And they're 2-3 wide into turn number 5, and Ido Cohen picks up a place. Finally, number 242, Ghani Raheen makes the move stick. Can he now make inroads into the top 3? Ido Cohen and Jan-Philippe Springorb side by side. That allows the P1 Racing machine of number 212, Jana Gewurz, into the top 6. So we start lap number 4 out of 11. Lots of chopping and changing at the second hairpin. Ido Cohen loses a place to Jana Gewurz, so Gewurz now up into 5th position, Cohen back to 6th. Kimber continues to head the way. Patrick Kibble has got back past Mauricio Hernandez, so Kibble back into P2, and now half a second in front of the Costa Rican driver. 1.5 seconds behind race leader Mark Kimber, but that could be 1.5 hours for all Kibble cares, because Kimber is a world champion and isn't prone to making unnecessary mistakes. The leaders start lap number 5 out of 11. Kimber's lead has grown to 1.7 seconds. New fastest lap last time around for Mark Kimber, 62.408 seconds. So it's almost as if to say, don't try it, boys, because you're not going to catch me. He just bangs in a new fast lap the minute that the minute that Kibble and Hernandez are line astern, not a single file, not side by side. But they're not single file now, because Hernandez passes Kibble up at turn number 8 for P2. Will Kibble fight straight back? Not yet. He's prepared to push Mauricio Hernandez, for the time being at least. Behind them, Ghani Rahane runs in 4th place. Jani Gewurz is 6th. 7th is Ido Cohen. Then it's Jan-Philippe Springorb in 8th. Nicholas Scholl 9th. So not so to Nicholas Scholl. He's had a poor opening part of the race. And then Mr. Rahan rather, in 12th. Chatumno is 13th. Bayet 14th. Vian 15th. Degenbeck is next. Leaders on lap number 6. There is Mauricio Hernandez holding off Patrick Kibble for 2nd place. Through turn number 8. No change behind Kibble. Ghani Rahane pushing that number 242 cart hard to try and catch them. No one is catching Mark Kimber. Mark Kimber crossed the line once again, and the gap grows from 2.09 seconds, only by over a tenth that lap, 2.1 seconds, so not huge difference. João Ferreira has moved his way up into 6th position at the expense of Ido Cohen. Then it's Nicholas Scholl and Rashid Ghanem in 9th. But João Ferreira enjoying the weather, enjoying the track. He's enjoying this result at the moment because he's moving up. There was a thought I saw a brief waved yellow flag there from a marshal point, although it may be my eyes playing tricks on me. No playing tricks on Mark Kimber at the moment. He's well clear. Hernandez still holds off Kibble. with Rahan in 4th place, closing in on them. Then it's Gewurz and Ferreira, the top 6. On to another lap goes the race leader, Mark Kimber. Into turn number 2, and now in towards turn number 3. Hernandez holds off Kibble. As we head down the back straight, Patrick Kibble will try and use the slipstream as best he can. You can see him crouched over in his seat. And it has worked a little bit because he is closed in by a couple of kart lengths on Mauricio Hernandez. They come through turn number 12 now. We're going to complete lap number 8 and go on to lap number 9. Kibble has to try and make the move stick. Now we're into turn number 11. Still, Kibble not close enough to pass Hernandez, to even think about passing Hernandez. Hernandez not quick enough to stay with Mark Kimber, whose lead was 2.59 at the end of lap number 7. At the end of lap number 8, it is 2.65. So Kimber continues to squeeze away. Through turn 5, see the gap between Kimber and the battle for second place. It's going to be over 3 seconds before long, especially if Hernandez keeps missing apexes and inviting Kibble to race side by side with him. Kibble certainly doesn't want to hang about because he's got that number 242 kart of Ghani Rahane bearing down on him. Turn 11, no change. Hernandez just keeping himself very focused. He hasn't looked over his shoulder yet. He's probably going to have a little quick glance in a minute. There he goes. Drivers tend to do that when they're on straights and they know that they're not going to miss an apex by not looking where they're going. Now, Ghani Rahane trying to pass Patrick Kibble for 3rd, but that wasn't happening. There he goes again. Kibble once again holds him off. Patrick Kibble having the weekend of his career so far, and is taking full advantage of the fact that not everybody got their setup quite right in qualifying yesterday, whereas he did. Kimber's lead now 3.3 seconds. Kibble, the battle between Kibble and Rahane, the best on circuit, that is for 3rd place, but Mark Kimber just streaking away at the front. Now 3.5 seconds up the road. That's gonna grow even more when Hernandez and Kibble finally start battling, and I'm sure they will at some point. So Kimber into turn number 5 for the last time. Under no pressure. Then it is Hernandez. Kibble's dropped back, and Kibble has actually dropped back into the clutches of Rahane. So Patrick Kibble, as opposed to trying to take 2nd place, is now going to try and just hang on to 3rd, because here comes Rahane in that number 242 kart, sizing him up through turn number 8. Will he get the undercut going into turn number 9? No. Behind Rahane is Jana Gewurz in 5th. Then João Ferreira, Ido Cohen, Nicolas Scholl, and John Philippe Springob and Rashid Ghanem. But Mark Kimber, absolutely faultless. He crosses the line, takes the checkered flag, and another win, this time in dominant fashion. So Kimber celebrating 2 wins out of 2. So Kimber, by 3.7 seconds, takes the second, or the 3rd X30 senior qualifying heat of 4 that we have before lunch. The next race, which will be the last race before the lunch break,